now I have two key characters from Battlestar Galactica, Admiral Adama and Commander Tigh. The packaging is the same as Vice President Baltar and Caprica 6, so I'm not going to go over that. Alright, we're going to start this off with Saul Tigh, which is definitely a good character on the show. So the actor Michael Hogan isn't represented too well in Minimate form. I think the figure looks a bit too fat, and the character isn't really too heavy, so it kind of looks a bit weird. The Minimate, for some reason, is very sad looking, and apparently he has two sets of eyebrows. So they did a really good job with the hair on this mate. Obviously they painted the ear on. The ear apparently has some hair on it, but whatever. The white hair is only on the back. It's not on the top or anything like that. It's on the side and the back. Very, very nice looking, but as I said, he's just a bit too fat. Because the figure is bald, he does not have a peg in his head, which is always a good thing. Now, his uniform doesn't really help the fact that the figure looks fat, because they kind of use one of the chest pieces, which makes sense, because I don't think they could have really done the Galactica uniform on just the chest block. It makes sense that they used a different chest piece. It is a very drab blue. It's got very nice detailing. The arm has a little insignia there. Pretty cool. Nothing on the back except these little like ridges. The front is obviously where it's detailed the most. He's got a little symbol there. Some skin coming through the top there. Red lines, buttons. It even has a little collar piece that's put onto the chest piece, which is really cool. The collar piece does hinder his head movement. You can't do it up and down. You'd still do it, you know, 360 degrees, but you can't move it up and down, which isn't that big of a problem. So if you pan down a little bit, you get another belt. Just like Baltar, it is a separate piece. It actually it is the same piece as Baltar's. It's got this little weird thing on there. I don't know what that's about. Let me see if I can remove that. Alright, there it's gone. It's kind of stuck. It's kind of a little bit difficult to move it around. But that's not that big of a problem. On his arm, he has these bands. Well, not bands, they're just kind of like, I guess it's part of the uniform, just these red rings on it. And just like Baltar, he has very standard pants and boots. This figure has some really great accessories. First off, he comes with this bottle of alcohol, which is pretty cool. It's just blue, not the best detailed thing in the world. Obviously, you're not going to fit it in his hand like this, so you have to kind of just put the tip in his hand. Hold on. It's not going in for some reason. Alright, I was actually able to force it in his hand. I'm sure it will come loose with time. It'll probably just force itself out, but it looks pretty cool, and Tigh usually does have a bottle of alcohol in his hand. His second accessory is this tiny little flask. So tiny that if you drop it, you probably won't ever find it again, so be very careful. So the bottle fits very nicely in his hand. The flask, I mean. It fits much better than the bottle. I believe he keeps his flask in his boot. So it would have been cool to kind of have maybe some way to put it. You know what? No, that would just be stupid. The best thing about this figure is that now Tony Stark has a drinking buddy. Now, this is by no means a great figure. It's probably one of the weakest of the Battlestar Galactica series. The eye patch Tigh that came a little later on in the series would probably be a better figure to get. But it's still good to have a regular un-eye patched Tigh. And plus, you get these really cool bottles and flask. Alright, so now we have Commander Adama, one of my favorite characters on the show. And I gotta say, this is one of the best likenesses I've ever seen on a Minimate. Edward James Olmos is a very distinct looking guy, so it'd be kind of hard to get a really accurate depiction of him. But they did a fantastic job. I like all the lines. It really makes him look like a really just great version of the character. It looks fantastic. Now, the one thing I don't like about this figure, the face, is the glasses. And that's only because they're really not defined well. And in some light, it doesn't even look like he's wearing glasses. They're just really not well painted on. They're a very light shade of gray, like they're almost invisible sometimes. Like looking at it from a distance, you can't tell he's wearing glasses. Now he has the exact same body as Tigh. Now the fatness makes a little more sense here because the character is a little portly. He's not, he's not the fattest guy ever, but he's also not the leanest guy ever. He's kind of in the middle. So yeah, from the neck down, exact same figure, exact same body as Tigh. Now, like Tigh, he comes with some really great accessories. He shares the same book as Baltar, only instead of red, it's green. Just like Baltar, the book fits very well in his hand. I don't know what book it is or why he'd be reading a book, but if I remember correctly, he had a large collection of books that he read during the show. Now, the other accessory is the picture of him and his two sons that we saw first in the miniseries. I would have liked it if they kind of went out of their way to do kind of a Minimate version, because it's kind of weird to see a Minimate carrying a picture with humans on it. Just really weird. They did a good job. It looks, accurate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is just the frame from the show, but whatever. Again, the picture frame has cut corners. I don't understand that. If I carry it in his hand, I usually like to have him carry it like this, so you can actually see it, but not that big a deal. But yeah, very, very nice figure. Now, obviously, Adama is a must-have figure. He's an essential character for the show. Great likeness. Really great figure, really great accessories. Now, Tigh is not that great a figure. It's kind of annoying that he looks really fat, but there's very minor gripes with Tigh.